Hello pianists! I look forward to teaching you how to play Hanon exercise number 2 with those wrist circles and forearm rotation you just saw in my demonstration. Most people have heard that we play the piano with arm weight, but sometimes there's some confusion about exactly how do I incorporate that arm weight into my playing. Hanon exercises are a perfect vehicle to apply these kind of techniques on simple C major exercises that just go up by steps and descend. Stay tuned as I talk you through and demonstrate in very slow motion exactly how these techniques should work in your body, how they should feel, some practice strategies, and how to look for this kind of technique within your repertoire so you can play your favorite pieces. Previously, I have taught you how to play with wrist circles on Hanon number 1. We also learned how to play with forearm rotation on Hanon number 5 and number 6, which uses forearm rotation of turning left to right. Hanon number 2 exercise is terrific as it combines wrist circles and that rotation in the middle like a little trill. If you can play technique like this, you'll soon be able to play something like Fur Elise with rotation, circles. I'll show you that in another video. Let's first discuss why do we play with this kind of proper technique. So the use of wrist circles and forearm rotation provides strength from your whole arm. Remember that your arm should be a playing unit, that your fingers are just the point of contact. All of your strength comes from your wrist, your forearms, your biceps, and the muscles that go into your back. If you only play with your fingers, let me demonstrate that, and you can see the sound difference and how it looks different. I cannot play very loud because I only have the strength of my fingers. I feel tense already. I can feel those wrist flexors going into my forearms becoming tight as I play. So if you want to incorporate all of your arm weight, stay tuned with me as I show you how to incorporate that. You get a fuller ring from your piano as the hammers are striking stronger on the strings, gives it that resonance that you want to add to your repertoire. All right, let's start looking at the exercise number 2. This is a public domain piece from around 1900, so you can find this as well to learn with me. We're going to start with our right hand. Right hand for Hanon number 2 is written on a bass C number 3. If I'm practicing purely techniques, I want it to feel in an ideal position and not have to cross in front of my body. So I'm going to choose to move my right hand up to middle C or C number 4. You might feel like it feels even better up to C5. Pick what feels best for you. So I'm going to go back to middle C on C4. Let's just learn the note reading first. Goes up a third, up a fourth. Let's block those 3 notes together in a reduced manner. Hopefully you recognize that's a first inversion triad or an A minor over C. I want these notes to be automatic where I don't think about them because the focus is technique. So I'm going to play these at the downbeats of each measure as they go up by steps. Nice tall fingers. Automatize how that feels. Try not to even watch your hands to remember how that feels. Okay, let's get into the techniques of this, which is the point. As the notes move away from your body, you're going to scoop under. Under motion, you just even practice that. And then in the middle of this exercise, you have a 3-4, which is like a trill. Left, right, and then it finishes the circle. It's like a circle interrupted by a trill. Under, left, right, over, and play nice and bold. Under, left, right, over. I'm going to pause at the 5 finger. What you can do when you're learning this is pause and make sure that your arm is aligned. That way you're incorporating all of that arm strength into this perceived weaker finger. It doesn't feel weak when you use all of this arm weight. Let's start up on F again. Left, right. Notice I'm exaggerating those motions to start. That's how your body first learns. Now let's listen to me play it slow to quicker. Notice how the sound and the motions change. So as you were listening and watching that, you heard that I started with a nice bold touch with exaggerated motions. Actually, the speed will help automatize these motions and it gets it lighter, which is necessary for fast repertoire playing, and I become more efficient, smaller motions. All things you can watch for in your playing. Next, let's move to the right hand descending pattern. I'm going to start up as Hanon writes it on this G number 5, and it's going to go over by a 4th, and then a 3rd, which is a first inversion triad of G over B. Let's first block it in a reduced manner to automatize notes. We don't want to think notes, we want to think about the technique. Let's go back to the technique. When the notes are going over towards your body, my wrist will roll over as well to follow that. Under, there's that trill, right, left, under, over. Exaggerate, watch your hands. You can pause at that 5, watch that you're aligned correctly behind it, over, right, left. When I stop before I get too much in front of my body, you might even choose to start that right hand over higher so you can have more repetitions before you're crossing. Next, let's move to the left hand. In the left hand, Hanon writes it as a C number 2. I'm going to start there as well. The beauty of Hanon is it's the same notes as the right hand, so hopefully that will feel easier to learn that. It's an A minor over C, 5-3-1, which is beautiful first inversion triad fingering. We're going to block it, the first 3 notes of each measure, to automatize these intervals so you can trust it, how it sounds, how it feels. I'm doing that, not watching my hands. Do that for several repetitions before we get into the technique. All right, the notes are ascending. In the left hand, when the notes ascend, meaning going towards my body, my wrist is going to go over, under, level wrist, left, right, finish the circle, over, under, level wrist, left, right, under. Nice and bold touch, watch your hands. Pause there in that 5 finger just to double check that you're aligned correctly with your forearm and your wrist there, over. I'm going to stop there before I cross too much in front of my body. Be patient with your left hand. It probably just will not feel as comfortable as the right hand if you're right hand dominant. Take it slow, do some extra left hand practice on its own. If it starts to feel tired or fatigued, you should stop. These are probably new motions for you. You don't want to cause any kind of injuries from overuse. Be patient with this process. Let's go into the left hand descending. It's written as a G above middle C. I don't like crossing in front of my body for pure technique work. Maybe repertoire does, but we're going to move it down to a G number 3. We're going to start by reducing it. G over B, block it. Nice tall fingers for good hand shape. Reduction practice will help you automatize the way these notes should feel. That way when your wrist circles brings your fingers up off the keys, you know what that feels like to come back and play your intervals. Now into the technique. The left hand are descending notes. When I have left hand descending notes, I'm going to scoop away from my body, over, check that 5, right, left, finish the circle, under, right, left, finish the circle, over, under, right, left, over, under, right, left, over. There's your left hand. So first practice hand separate. To automatize those movements, start slow with exaggerated motions. Use your eyes to watch that technique to monitor that you're moving your hands in a correct manner. That way when you play it within repertoire, you remember how it's supposed to feel if you have to watch the score, if you're moving your hands like more advanced repertoire shows you. So that was the hand separate. Next I'm going to show you what it looks like to go into hands together. If you remember from Hanon number 1, our hands are mirror images of one another. So as the left hand ascends, that one goes over. As the right hand ascends, it goes under. So it's going to be opposite motions on the circles. Forearm rotation will move in the same way. Left, right, finish the circle. Left hand under, right hand over. Left, right. Notice I have a level wrist when I'm on that forearm rotation. Circle. Watch for is my right hand is very good about getting those wrist circles always just right, it feels like. So train it there and let that right hand be a guide. As this one goes under, the left hand should feel equal to that over motion. It's like a circle that you're tracing. Level. Finish there on C. In summary, Hanon exercise can really yield a lifetime of benefits to the pianist. They are pure exercises that let you just play these in C without having to think about cumbersome notes, cumbersome rhythms. It's all just easy rhythms. Start it slow with exaggerated motions. For the advancing pianist, I still play these and still have my advanced students play these as well. There's some other things you can add to it. You can add dynamic shaping and phrase goals. I'm going to put a phrase goal at the trill of each measure. So I'm going to sneak in, goal, taper, here's the goal. That will help you incorporate their arm weight because it sounds so beautiful to put that dynamic peak in the middle of that. These are also great for voicing practice. I'm going to start with my right hand loud. The left hand is going to be a silent play. Once you get that control, let the left hand play, but keep it very quiet. Also, the left hand often has melody within repertoire, so do the opposite effect. Right hand silent play, left hand normal, nice and forte. Start slow, build it up once it becomes more automatic. The final one I'll show you is the articulation contrast. We're going to keep the right hand nice and smooth like it's the melody, and the left hand will be staccato underneath it. Also say that in a Baroque piece, the left hand has the melody and it's smooth, and the right hand is the accompaniment. It will be staccato. So as you can see, Hanon is terrific for building some expression and some techniques into your own playing. That way you can incorporate them into your own repertoire pieces that you would like to learn. Stay tuned for some other Hanon tutorials. You can check out number 1 and number 5 and 6. Leave some comments if this helps you. If you have any kind of questions, I'd be happy to guide you on those. Enjoy this process of learning correct technique. That way you can make beautiful music for the rest of your life.